Are they up to it tonight?
And Munster going into this match buoyed by the events of last week too. It wasn't pretty in Belfast, but it was certainly gutsy. Nigel Owens of Wales in charge. 2015 was a very special year for him, wasn't it? And he starts his duties in Europe in 2016 with this rearranged Champions Cup fixture, which Munster know is in the must-win category. Simple as. They've put a halt to their run of defeats, which included those demoralising losses at the hands of Leicester. But now it's all about what's in front of them and how much of this competition in their red. Munster take the kick-off in the shape of Conway. Now it's Ian Keatley, man of the match at the Kingspan Stadium. Well, as Will said, he can look like Ronan O'Gara at times when he gets it absolutely right. He's got to piece it all together today.
Yeah, that was a good start as well. It was not a bad kick-off from Stade. Conway at full-back claimed it, he made it his own, and it was a very good clearance there from Munster. They can't afford to just dither around in their own 22. Get out of that danger area, get the game in the home team's half.
Sompere will throw in to the first line out. And it's down from Gabriag, just 22 years of age, into the Pascal Pape or Alexandre Floncard shirt. Those two international second rows missing from the Stade 23 tonight. Chance though for young Gabriag to make his mark. Julien Dupuis. Back goes BJ Boda, gets in the way. Dupuis just taking on Munster around the fringe there. The man who started the 2009 final in Leicester colours. Leicester, of course, sitting top of this Pool 4 with 18 points. Keith Earls. Great for Munster to have him back. Mornay Steyn deciding not to kick that time and bring in his backs. One of them is Rusungay. Look out for him, along with Nathalevu. They bring that flair and speed.
BJ Botha is the man down at the moment. Very impressive start from Stade Francais there. Parise is such a talented footballer. You get him in those wide channels. That passing game is so accurate there. Good to see Mornay Steyn bringing Bonneval into the game as well. Said warm-up, I was so impressed with Stade. They looked very sharp.
Worrying times for BJ Botha and Munster here. They're a man down. I can report that Bota's back on his feet, but he's trying to see if it can take any weight with the calf or the ankle. Because he had concussion not so long ago, that turned into flu. He's not having a lot of luck. And it was his birthday on Monday. Turned 36. Fell for Rusungay again. Two tries and man of the match in one of the games against Treviso. There's back-to-back games that have got Stade on the points board. It was Nathalevu. Now he is coming in off the wing, but it's Munster who steal it. Murray. Referee Nigel Owens picks up a jersey. What about the ball being stripped, but not the man, literally. And that's Keatley again.
Interesting contrast early on. Stade Francais trying to play the game. Nathalevu stripped there very well. Tommy O'Donnell, brilliant still, but Stade have gone early. They really are trying to up the tempo of this match.
There's a jersey.
Little chip over the top from Conway. Oh, he's got the bounce. In went Parise, looked over to the referee, but Nigel Owens is happy. He's also discarded the jersey, which I think belongs to CJ Stanley.
Yeah.
Mesboja looking better. Conor Murray, another great man for Munster to have back in their side. They're certainly playing some early territory here, and why not?
Well, the kick in from the Munster halfbacks has been excellent. Conor Murray's first box kick was too much for Sergio Parise. It was a brilliant kick, and that's the second time Keatley has decided to just probe and go to the corners. It looks like they're going to be doing that. There you can see Stander's jersey being lost, but more interestingly is the way in which Munster are playing the territory. There's Parise colliding with the full-back Conway, nothing he could do about that, no penalty. But it's territory from Munster at the moment, ambition from Stade Francais.
Now it's Conway who's getting some treatment.
Stay. He's on. Okay.
He's going to try and run off his knock. Mornay Steyn, 60 caps for the Springboks. Most by any South African fly half. Fastest Springbok to 100 points to 200 points. Seems he's stuck on 694 now.
I think it's fair to say Mornay Steyn was one of the kicking fly halves. Who will ever forget the kick that won the series against the Lions in Pretoria? Limited fly half, but a magnificent kicker, and he's passing tonight.
I'll tell you who won't forget, Ronan O'Gara. He's not too far from these parts these days, and was at the Racing Glasgow game earlier, of course. I'm told he's going to try and meet up with the Munster boys tonight, flying back tomorrow. That's Mike Sherry. Here's Murray. Keatley, who feeds again. Conway seems to have run off. Scannell involved. Keatley kicks again. He likes that area.
Left to right, he's taking chunks of territory every time, and that was a good decision. The moment he slipped, what Munster don't want to be doing is trying to play against Stade Francais, going backwards. Slightest error, just recalibrate and go again. The slip and a very good kick. A lot of space behind Rasengay at the moment, the left wing.
Sombre to throw in. Dave Foley was trying to do his best at the front to put the Stade hooker off his game, but it didn't work. Mark Lou, big strong run from the back row man. Now along the Stade line out to Julian Arias. So much experience, still a deadly finisher. He scored some excellent tries in European Cup history. Remember that one in Cardiff all those years ago.
Still got dynamite in his boots as well. Comes off that right wing. He's a tremendous player.
Always loved watching him. Dupuy. Alo Emile, Australian-born prop. And that's neat. Stade playing the Munster game.
Some fairly accurate rugby at the moment. Some nice crisp passing. Very good kicking from both fly halves.
Get back off. Get down. Once he's been taken there and walk back on.
Conway ordered back off the field by Nigel Owens, who's already had the trainer on. And it doesn't look good for Andrew Conway. He's only just returned from a bruising to the hip that he got in the Leinster game over the festive period.
Ronan O'Mahony looks like he's about to come on the field as a replacement.
He played against Ulster last week, O'Mahony. That man didn't. Conor Murray, who's also had a hip problem. He suffered his injury in the Leicester game in this competition. Here's O'Mahony, Limerick born.
Okay, he's come off this side, okay?
I think Munster, they're a different team when Conor Murray plays. He gives them experience at 9, he gives them a real threat around the fringes, and his kicking game, as we've seen, both the touch and box kicks, is very good now.
It's good for Keatley too, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes so much pressure off the fly half when you've got the number 9 who bosses the game, and I think that can help Keatley, a talented player, but sometimes the pressure seems to get to him. Conor Murray will really take that steam off him. We're
also doing the cleaning up. It's just linked with victory, isn't he, Parise, in this Stade side? He came back against Toulouse last week and said earlier, hey presto. And Simon Zebo still to decide on his future. Stade, one of the clubs that he's been linked with. And we've got time to run through the full list. But they're all in France. And he's got a decision to make at some point.
Good kick there from Keith Earls. Played some really good rugby in the World Cup. He's a super footballer, he's great awareness, and then as he just holds himself back from going down on top of the man and giving the penalty away. That's really smart play there. The temptation to just flop on Julian Arias was great, but he didn't. He held his distance, and because of that, Munster have the line-out.
Munster fans, quite a few of them around us in our commentary position here, making their voices heard. And they'll like this. Up it goes from Keatley, and Arias is there. Very good underneath the high ball. Taken away by Dupuis. Marcolou looking for the offload. Second time he's been a handful on the charge. Stain goes wide. Sunge lost the ball. Down goes BJ Bota. Sunge over the top. Needs to be careful, and he's the warning of the referee initially. Then he got a boot in. And it's the knock on.
You okay?
BJ Bota is still struggling to shrug off that first minute injury. Feel all hands to the pump today, but Munster going well defensively because I think they're going to be really tested today. Rassegay locks the ball. That's the knock on that Nigel Owens is going back for. And that's the kick out of the hands, which he didn't see from the same man who knocked it on.
Nigel Owens had a quick look at the big screen there. Fleeting glance.
I thought that as he passed it, his foot was in front. That's why I've gone for the scrum, okay? I wasn't sure he kicked it out, okay?
CJ Stander wanted to make the point.
You see a clear view of it, Sean?
Very tight. BJ Bota, meanwhile, could be about to leave as John Ryan can play both sides of the scrum. Bota, of course, on the tight head. So Ryan, even though he's wearing 17, will slip into that position. Also on the bench is the Uruguayan international missing the World Cup, Mario Segario. Used to play his club rugby in France, but not at this level. But he has to wait for Ryan.
Discipline, you bind up, you call.
So that's Conway and Bota gone already inside the first 11 minutes.
The problem is, as the game goes on and Stade try and up the ante with their powerful bench, Munster don't have the freshness left to challenge them. It's not about the lack of the quality that's lost now, or it is, but not just that. It's about what happens in the last 20 minutes when they don't have fresh legs.
With Rabah Slimani waiting, amongst others, on the bench for Stade Francais. You looked at that Stade bench, you thought, ultimately, that might be where the home side will go on and win it. They have such a strong record at home in European competition. So it's even more of a back against the wall, if that's possible. They'll press right up against it anyway, Munster, given the situation in the pool.
That's a rack!
Murray. Keatley. Here's young Rory Scannell making a good impression, finds Keith Earls. That's a nice offload to Keatley. Keatley still getting in there! Has he done it? No. Nigel Owens thinks a 22 dropout, but Derek Bevan is getting involved too, the television match official.
I definitely think it's worth a check. Rassegay was very lackadaisical there. The right hand of Keating. It is a 22, but I tell you what, the Stade Francais left wing was really lucky there. He was right on the edge. He did not intend for it to be that close.
Look, it all happened in a flurry, but it was almost as if Keatley was getting himself into too good a position. Just get that hand in any which way.
Well, Rassengay, what he was guilty of, well, not guilty, he was waiting for that ball to go in goal so he could touch it down and it wouldn't be a scrum 5 taking it over. But blimey, it was close. It was a lovely attack from Munster as well.
It's a great effort from Keatley. Certainly didn't give it up at all. And we know that Munster won't give it up at all in this match.
Good hands from Scannell involved in that as well. What Munster won't be so pleased, bread and butter over the years for Munster has been their ability at things like restarts. You know, through the years, down the history of this tournament, Paul O'Connell's been winning those restarts. Here's that move again, super hands from Scannell. Earl's very quick as well. Keatley away, and you could see Rassengay just get over that line, and it almost caught out there. That was close.
And down from Hugh Pyle, the former Melbourne Rebel. Where's this one going to land? Into the clutches of Allo Emile. He was also with the Rebels and the Western Force before he came to play here. Munster put it.
Bar the injuries, Munster will be pretty pleased with his first 13 minutes. The early speed, zip, width of Stade Francais has disappeared, and they're getting quite a lot of ball at the moment. It's a lovely controlled tap there from Parr. Very good player in the early days playing for the Rebels. They were a very poor team, and he always made a real fist. I thought for a while he was going to be there or thereabouts with the Australian Test team, but he's come to Europe and he's making a good career.
Good battle, Pyle against Chisholm, of course, in the second row today, all Aussie. Chisholm, the ex-captain of Bayonne. Also, 158 caps for the Wallabies.
Nigel Owens set to Conor Murray there in the middle, please.
See if he sticks to it. Zebo's kick doesn't work. Dupuis. He was looking at the referee before he went to the ground there, Julian Dupuis.
Deliberate offside there as well. The charge down from the Stade player. And you can see well, Dupuis is asking for a trip afterwards. He was in an offside position, but Nigel Owens wants to check for a trip. Here you can see the chip, and you can see Dupuis miles offside. Well, he's clipped, I think it's fair to say. Stain, offside Dupuis.
Wait a minute.
It's very good in the act of being tripped, if it was a trip, to find the referee.
Okay, but referee don't cause that much, so less of the acting, more
Yeah.
of the playing, okay? Good man.
I think that's absolutely right from Nigel Owens. He's read that perfectly.
One of the directives, wasn't it, at the end of 2015 from World Rugby, an area they wanted to stamp down on was the histrionics, the dive in. And Nigel Owens, as you say, calm but firm.
I think he's been nominated for a BAFTA before, hasn't he, Dupuis?
I thought you said Nigel Owens.
Well, he just dreams of that. TV show's good, but not that good. Here's Sherry to Chisholm.
Send away.
Referee Owens holds out the arm Munster's way. Keatley, kick pass. Too much on it for replacement Omani, but it was, you always say, kick to nothing.
Number 7, first, from the side, and down.
Good work there from the Munster pack. Force Sylvain Nicolas to come in from the side and then collapse the driving maul.
From the side and down. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now then, please.
There is an option here,
Thank you. Not now.
as Parise has a discussion. And Munster, they decide the wisest course of action is to take the points. Could have gone into the corner, could have said, well, let's see if we can get that drive going again. But, you know,
Listen to any problems you have.
tight games, you
Not
take your
give the
points.
penalty. How long have you known me now? We don't talk when I give the penalty. When there's a stoppage like this, then we talk. No more, nothing, please. Back you go. Thank you.
Really effective drive there. You can see the open side. Nicola forced to commit 2 infringements. There he is, number 7, right-hand side. He goes down, pulls Tommy O'Donnell down. The whole thing collapses, and it's a chance for Keatley to make it 3-0.
Approaching the midway point of this first half, Munster could be about to get the first points. What they've done, I won't say they've quietened the crowd down, but they've got them restless. And Keatley has not been able to make it count where it really matters.
It's blustery down there, there's no doubt about that. But around the 22, 15 metres in from touch, Keatley's got to be disappointed that he hasn't taken that opportunity to turn it into points. As Casada on the right, he didn't miss many. Simon Raoului, the forward coach of Stade, he didn't take any, to my knowledge.
Stolen before. Play on.
What prisoners.
Back red.
Crowd boosted by Keatley's miss. Stay. Zebo. There's a slice. And a bad one as well from Keith Earls. I'd be disappointed with that. He was much better than that. I'd say Munster have lost another man.
Keating, I think it is down. Took a blow. Another restart that doesn't go right.
Take him back in, Johnny. No.
And here's the slice again. And that is one hell of a slice.
Was it fine?
Ian Keatley.
Do we have check here, boys? Yes or no? No. Carrying on then. Do we have a check there? Okay, carry on.
And again, Munster must play with 14.
Brilliant strength.
Keatley feeling his shoulder, is back in midfield. Crowd don't like that one being around the neck, but there's too much in it. Here's Williams. Parise finding Gabriag. Dupuis. Here comes Nicola, back from his knee injury. Bonneval drops it. Murray.
Away, White.
O'Donnell trying to bring the ball away. Keatley, this will test him out. And he's lost it, but referee will bring them back.
Just looks a little bit shaken after that knock, Ian Keatley. He's fortunate there because Munster had no advantage from the previous knock-on where Hugo Bonneval lost the ball in a man and ball. And I think it's fair to say the Stade Francais fullback wasn't made to crash balls up. Takes his eye off the ball, doesn't fancy the red wall coming at him. There's your knock-on.
It's in the French squad of Guy Neves, an extended squad for the Six Nations. His father, Eric, played international rugby back in the 80s.
Same stand the shoulder that please, yeah, playing long. Crouch.
I think I played against him, Miles, about 400 yards from here across the road in Parc de France, mid-80s. Formidable player.
Here's CJ Stander. So is he. Going into this match, 47 carries in the competition. It was Saili. Haven't seen too much of him so far. There's number 13, former All Black in Auckland Blue. That's good work on the floor. Dupuy managed to whip the ball away. And there is the scrum half again to find his fly half Stain. Here's Nicola. Nice little offload, that one. Williams to Arias. A man who needs to be watched closely. Stade starting to get into their stride here. And the crowd as well. 3 once more to Stain. Here's Parise. That's a strong carry. Chisholm was working hard, but he couldn't hold the Italian great. But Munster doing great work at the breakdown. Murray. Zebo. Ooh, he just seemed to take a second too long there. Well done in the end, Simon Zebo.
In the end, though, all he can do is get the ball out, basically from where Conor Murray passed it backwards to him. So that's a big gain there for Stade. Perforates the gain line so well, doesn't he? And he rolls there. Really good stuff there. Here's the pressure that Zebo is under. Paul Williams is a very physical beast at 12, isn't he? He makes his hits and he makes it count.
Tommy O'Donnell now has been wandering around, not looking at his best, and he's being led away. If he doesn't come back, that'll be 3 that Munster have lost inside 23 minutes. Lots for Anthony Foley and his coaching team to think about there, scribbling away. Messages being sent down by Jerry Flannery. That's Jack O'Donoghue, 21 years of age, promising talent. It's going to be a head injury assessment for O'Donnell.
Well, let's hope he comes back. He started this game pretty well. What he gives Munster is a dynamism around the fringes and up front that maybe they just don't quite have enough of at the moment. Never really replaced David Wallace, and he gives them a little bit of that. As you say, O'Donoghue is a good player, but this is a real confrontation here in Paris, and you want your experienced players. Let's hope we see O'Donnell back.
That's good work from Dave Foley. Real bonus for the men in red. Murray not risking the pass this time, or failure to kick the ball away by a colleague. Does it himself, and a good chase from Earls. But Rasunye is a handful. Terrific sevens player. Stain, he's going crossfield here. Here comes Zebo. He's looking for the offload. Oh, he's given it away. Denied the level. Who wins this? It's so important. Munster have strapped at that breakdown, and they've done it again. Spoiling work of the highest order. The crowd don't like it.
Well, you thought that Nathalebu was through. The initial take by Zebo is good, but that's a blind pass to no one, except it's into the hands of the very dangerous Stade Francais outside centre. The initial pass really good. You can see as he lets that ball go, his eyes are not spun around, doesn't know what's behind him. Very sloppy from Zebo.
Into the hands of Waisea, Nathalebu, Vuindra Vualu.
Nathanalu is enough for me. Waiasa Nathanalu, that's excellent. But what was the last bit? Fantastic.
Going backwards the scrum at CJ Stander. He goes forwards.
That's outside, that's outside.
Munster playing like a side that is clinging on to their status in this competition and their chance of qualifying this season. All those years when they made it through to the knockouts. So a dozen, wasn't it, in a row. Even in more recent times, they've some close shaves in knockout games. Quite the glory years of 06 and 08. It means so much to Munster Rugby every season, the European campaign. Not quite sure what it means to Stade Francais, the French champions this year, in view of their plight towards the bottom of the top 14, but on the evidence of this,
I was going to say, I think the fact that they went to Treviso, who, okay, they've lost 22 on the trot, but they ran up a lot of points, and they did the same here, suggests that they're still focused on this.
At times they played beautifully at Welford Road.
Well, they played the best rugby against Leicester, but they played an awful lot of the worst as well, and that's what cost them.
That was Hugh Parle. Dupuy. Stay in danger of throwing a forward pass there. Teammates in front of him, so he's forced into that, forced into a kick. He won't be complaining though. The busy John Ryan has come on for BJ Bota. Saili, little chip over the top, looks for the bounce, falls for Williams. Nice work by Sompere. Just the calm link. Dupuy, Stay. Alo Emile. Hugh Pyle. Played for the Rebels. Born in Sydney. And once more, the breakdown is the friend of Munster.
He's on his feet a good way.
Well, there's great ambition at the moment from Stade Francais, but there's not enough threat through the middle. Mornay Stain's never been a run-in 10, and at the moment he's a little bit flatter than we've seen him at times in his playing history, but he's just throwing big wide missed balls, and Munster are just able to defend one side of the pitch to the other, and they're getting in quicker at those breakdown there. Stade Francais are not doing enough to fix the men in red and then create space, and I think the other thing at the moment, as we see Parise carrying, is Racine Gay, for all his touches, he just looks a little bit out of it at the moment. You mentioned that point when he was in front of Mornay Stain. He doesn't always get the geography of the field. Munster started this game kicking a lot of ball behind him. I think they've identified him as a potential weakness.
CJ Stanley looking like he had a medieval instrument of torture on there. Breaks for Stade. That'll disappoint Munster, just relieve the pressure. Okay, it's not been on their own line, they've not been under siege, but that was an opportunity. He feels a much better kick.
But that's still a great gain, isn't it, for Stade? Just no quality on that ball. I wonder whether there was a little bit of a knock-on as well there, you know. I thought Gabriag knocked that ball forward. But as I was saying, Stain has booted that ball 60, 70 metres, and Earls' kick's a good one, but Stade have got the throw in and they've made 40 metres. That's a super return.
They've only had 2 home defeats. Champions, or as it used to be, European Cup Rugby, in 38 matches. Stade Francais. One of them was to Munster. We'll go back to the quarter-final 2002. It was only by 2 points. Memorable game that was. Stade lost to Harlequins at the Stade de France. In the days when they used to get 80,000. Well, they get here. There's a penalty against Tommy O'Donnell.
Now we've seen Munster go for 3 points and not the corner. What's Mornay Stain doing? Well, one of the world's great kickers in the last decade thinks the answer is to go to the corner. This will be interesting because they spent 10 minutes working line-outs from this position and they were brilliant.
Nigel Owens, he did me as well. He said Tommy O'Donnell. O'Donnell's not on the pitch.
Well, I didn't want to dispute the World Cup final referee, but don't think that could have been O'Donnell. Jack O'Donoghue, maybe.
Yeah, I think he said number 4 in the end. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As Nigel Owens quite rightly said, it was one of you. And that's good to see for Munster. Tommy O'Donnell coming back.
Now, Stade were very good at getting drives infield towards the touchline and then spinning out with Parise and Dupuis and just playing angles there. They did about 5-6 on the trot. I wonder.
That's good from Marcolou, but that's good from Munster again. Seems every chance that Stade sort of half create to build something that might threaten the Munster line. Munster managed to sniff it out. Half an hour gone, 0-0, and Munster will not be complaining about that. They don't care if they walk away from here with a 3-0 win. It's just about survival and victory, but it might be about a whole lot more if Saili does that. Did that really well to find Omani, and he slips. Great work between Zebo and especially Saili. And Saili in there again. And Munster might get penalised here. His body's all over that now. And it was going to be a penalty. Still might be, and is.
Penalised for coming off their feet. But Conor Murray was the architect of that attack again. It was a splendid box kick, and the chase from Keith Earls made a good kick into a very good one, and then bang, they just split up field there. First time perhaps with the ball in hand, Munster asking questions of the home team.
No water on, please. No stoppage, no water.
The banana kick from Mornay Stade's right boot, and it's a beauty. Clever football there from Zebo. He's luring 2 people into the hole, and then the inside ball for Saidi, and his return pass to Omani is a good one. Very clever stuff there out wide.
Middle.
It was great. They're on each other's wavelength there, weren't they? Totally. It was as if Saili read it before Zebo knew himself what he was going to do.
Zebo's really good at seeing that space between 2 defenders, and getting into it and creating space for another man.
There's Dupuis to Stain. Naitha-Levo, oh, he's got some space now. Parise, that's a lovely pickup as well by Naitha-Levo, the Fijian international. Oh, Emile. Is this the moment? Williams. It is. They've been threatening, to be fair, and the man who scored right at the end to get that much-needed win to end the talk of crisis here against Toulouse. Well, he scored again against Munster in the Champions Cup. Paul Williams.
2 centres combined. Naitha-Levo, super break. Parise again, he's just beaten that gain line, and Williams picks a fantastic line. He's standing wide in the 15-metre channel. He comes infield there. That's where Munster's defence is absolutely punctured by a brilliant line from the Samoan former Sale centre. So much of the game. Stade have been just passing and following the flow of the ball across the field. He just cut the angle back on that, and that just changed the whole point for Munster defensively, and they couldn't handle it.
Crowd booing Nigel Owens for moving Mornay Stain, but it's absolutely right to do so. He's not going to miss either way, is he? Surely not Mornay Stain, but does have to be taken from reasonably near the right spot. They share the joke, and they can start to maybe at least inside have a smile, because that the coaching the Stade team is a pleasurable moment.
Found himself a front row forward to go up against there, got the mismatch that he was looking for, back against forward, lovely angle, and that's the score. Munster will be disappointed though, because I think they've taken quite a lot of the tempo out of Stade Francais, and they were handling most of the threats fairly well, and bang, out of the blue, a break first phase from a line out. They're backpedaling. They never stopped going backwards.
Tale of two breaks, really. Munster had one and just couldn't quite finish it off. And Marnie slipped, and to be fair, the cover was there. But Stade didn't miss their chance, not that time. Referee sorting out his communications with his assistant. That was a knock-on.
Just have to get their basics right, Munster. A couple of the restarts haven't been to the standard that Anthony Foley would have liked, and that line out again, you know, that's just gives the French a very good attacking situation, and we've seen the threat in the centre. The other thing, Miles, you know, we've got to remember Munster have lost a couple of men early. Stade look as if strategically they've left three of their most dynamic players off the bench, as we see this brilliant line from Paul Williams again. So, you know, if Stade can build this lead and they get to the last 20, 2 tries on the board and a 14-point lead, then they will be looking to push on, because whilst winning is the priority in this match, a bonus point for either side here, a winning bonus point obviously, would be vital in the bid to qualify for the last 8.
Pascal Papin, experienced, not at carrying the water, but in playing rugby. And if you look at Paul Williams, those of an older vintage, I think he reminds me of somebody. And he's the son of the former All Black winger, great winger, Brian Williams.
Williams, he's been so physical. It was a great tackle there. Both centres superb. Macalou, some fantastic defensive play there. Rassengay coming in, some classic French pictures showing all the dynamism of European club rugby.
Well, that might be that for Tommy O'Donnell. As he goes, and Jack O'Donoghue is back on.
That's a hammer blow. 35 minutes gone, and Munster have used up 3 of their bench, and I think O'Donnell was crucial today. They've done pretty well at the breakdown, Munster, and now they've lost him.
It was his first European appearance of the season. It's that hip dislocation against Wales before the World Cup, which ended his chances in that competition. Parise wants to make a point here to the referee, keep that in the scrum as long as possible. And he wants to make that point primarily to win some points, 3 of them. And even though there's some of the backs thinking they're going to go for it, with Mornay staying on standby, it's surely going to be for the post.
Oh, that's the first scrum where first scrum where Stade have marched Munster backwards. And again, that may be a little bit ominous with Slimani still to come on. Here you can see superb control at the base of the scrum from Parise with that right foot of his. Penalty conceded well before O'Donoghue involved. Should be 10-0 now, and that will be a very good 5 minutes for Stade. 10 points and one of Munster's key men departing.
It's not so long ago it seemed we might be going to half-time at 0-0. Munster, clearly of the 2 teams, getting a lot happier. So now it is Stade Francais 10, Munster 0.
I think when he came out to warm up, Mornay Stade, he made a right mess of his first kick. Didn't get it right at all. Thereafter, the next 20, bang, straight through the post.
Well, he made a right mess of one last week, didn't he? But it's a rarity.
That's from
Mornay.
That was very good play from Macalou there. Great hanging take.
When he made his top 14 debut in October against Racing, scored. It's come from Massey. So many players have. That has been a real factory. A lower league factory, Massey. Zebo beaten. Bonaval, the man. Parise, and suddenly Stade don't want this half to end.
Stay.
You feel they've got Munster where they want them. Saili.
Okay.
Keatley. Staying, he wants to have the opportunity for the quick one, and he finds Parise. He's in danger of being isolated. Keatley was there.
Just took too long to bring him down, able to hold on to the ball, and now Arias in a typical search-in break.
Powerful off the blocks, Arias, but it has been knocked on. And Munster are going to get one last chance here to try and cut that lead before half-time.
I was talking to the studio back in London before the game, and I felt that Munster needed to address their offensive problems. You know, they were very brave against Ulster, but they didn't offer enough going forward, and you always had the feeling that this Stade team were going to score 15 or 20 points, and Munster coming up to 39 minutes, they don't have a single point, and that has to be a major concern for them.
There's a time in Europe's top competition that these two couldn't stop meeting. Between 2000-2004, and Munster won 3 of them. It's that semi-final in Lille. They have to work hard now to win this one. Maybe just before half-time they can steal something here. Zebo. And Keatley's miss. Of course, that attack down this near side, which might have led to something, but there was still a distance out. There was Keatley trying to get a hand in, scrambling over the line. But that's about it. Mind you, it's not as if Stade Francais have created golden opportunity after golden opportunity. It's not been that type of half.
Advantage if you want.
Murray driven off the ball, and that will be a penalty. It's a long way out. And that's the only option now, because that's forward.
That last pass from Simon Zebo summed up Munster's problems at the moment.
Number 2.
Very lateral.
Cut for number 9 without
just
the ball in from the side.
Not accurate enough and not inventive enough. At the moment, Stade are quite happy for them to have the ball and let them see them go across the field. Keatley has to go for 3 points now because we're into red on the clock. And of course, if this go over, it's...
The hand in the face. Go back to the previous maul on the other side.
Say again.
Have a look at the hand in the face. Just have a look at it on the other side.
Well, you need to stop and
thinks
check
he's
it.
found something.
Yeah, stop and check it. Yeah, just hold it a sec.
Is it serious?
No, I've only seen a glance of it. I'd like to see it again.
Okay. Time out. I've got something to check with the TMO. Time out then, Bevan. You just show me a bit of
I don't know if you could hear that. Derek Bevan, former World Cup final referee, just said to him, stop.
What should he get?
Arasa
Can you
Gay.
see that?
Yeah, well, show me
The
again.
intimation is there that there's a finger in the eye. That's what standards saying there.
Just a hand in the face, is it?
What's the Munster man now? He looks at his brittle and says, no, it's a finger.
Yeah, I think we do need to see that a little bit closer.
Huh?
Here he comes now, mate.
CJ Stand had a close look at it.
It's the left eye. What's the left? Now that
There.
second finger, Standard doesn't...
Right.
Doesn't look good, does it?
Correct me here now. Am I seeing the hands in the face and the fingers are going into the eyes?
I think you
Very
have,
close to
Nigel.
the eye, it's not in the eye, yes.
Okay, what's the number? Get the number of the player for me.
Number of the player, please.
It's 11, Derek.
Number 11.
We'll have a look now, Nige.
Might as well just
What's
step
in there?
forward with some
And
game.
his fingers are going in the eyes, Bev. The fingers are in the face and they're coming around into
Absolutely
the
no
eyes. You
need
cannot
to do it.
that. That's a red card offence.
He's going off initially expecting it to be yellow, but if that is the offence and he's guilty of it, it simply has to be red. There's no debate to be had on the colour of the card.
I think Derek Bevan was eagle-eyed there. Bevan knew he'd seen something, and I think he wanted to let Nigel Owens come to it himself, and there's no doubt at all, despite the raucous booing here, that the officials have made the right decision. It's been a tough first half for Munster, but they're now 15 against 14. This goes over, they're in with a sniff.
Good luck Ian Keatley concentrating here. It's hardly the deathly hush of Thomond Park. Well, he's missed the kick. And that would have hurt Stade Francais more, but there is a feeling of injustice here. But you know, Derek Bevan moved in for a reason. Nigel Owens trusted his television match official, and once they decided that was the issue, then the colour of the card had to be red. Stade Francais lead at half-time. Controversial moment right at the end.
Left or right there?
Thanks, Alex. Munster came out early for this second half, got into a bit of a warm-up, 3 or 4 minutes. They were out there before Stade Francais emerged. Then the referee came out, Nigel Owens, and what a do. He's not popular, but I'm not sure what option he had. And there goes Ian Keatley right at the start of this second period. Keatley with those 2 penalty goal attempts, which weren't successful. Had they gone over, it could be already looking a bit different. But what Munster do have is this extra man for 40 minutes. And 40 minutes when they must turn this around, or they are facing the exit door after just 4 rounds. Leinster and Munster.
Very difficult for Stade Francais now, having lost their left wing. They've got to reorganise defensively. And whilst Munster have been very lateral, you can see there, first time Keatley gets the ball, there's a little bit of space, and maybe that'll neuter the fact that Munster have lost all these players to injury when Stade bring on fresh legs around the 50-60 minute mark. The fact now that they actually have an extra man. But if they are going to win this game, if they're going to get back into it, you know, when someone like Keatley makes a break, Jack O'Donoghue, they have to hold on to the ball, and that's happened repeatedly in the first half. Any good play almost immediately has been undermined by a poor piece of play.
And we shouldn't forget that the Munster back row ranks at the moment without Peter O'Mahony, long-term injured, of course, with that knee.
Well, they certainly missed Peter O'Mahony's devil, and of course they've lost the great Paul O'Connell, but this is not a problem for this season. In Europe, Munster's lateral play has been haunting them for 2 or 3 years. It's been a while now.
It's another good Stade scrum. They got a penalty from it in the first half and got points. As a result, they won't be kicking this one for the post, but what they will do again, as they did in the first half, is make that point again to the opposition, to the referee. It's a worry for Mike Sherry and his colleagues.
I think Sergio Parise has probably said to his team, right, we're down a man out wide, but we've got the edge in the tight, so let's just close this game up. Let's scrummage, let's play touch lines, let's squeeze Munster, let's suffocate them, let's take all the pace out of the game. Even though we wanted to play fast to start, we can't do that now because we've lost a man, but we can still control this game. And I think you'll see a very physical, tight-knit second half from this pack. Great first scrum.
An excellent control again from Parise at the base. Such a good footballer, and we saw it there. Sampere to Gabriel. Mornay Stade. going to take some catching, some spin on it, but well played Simon Zebo to Francis Saili. Murray, Keatley, there's a channel here maybe to exploit. There it is. Keatley again, O'Donoghue. Saili. Who's made over 40 appearances in Super Rugby. Keith Earls to O'Donoghue. It was always an awkward one to take. It was lost forward. Stade have it again. There's Parise to Dupuis. Worked that nicely. Try scorer Williams. Bonneval.
Away then, Chile, straight away. Advantage over.
Parise.
Played well, Parise, really well again.
Got to ask the question, does he ever play badly?
Yeah, he does have the odd game when he tries to overplay it, and what he's doing today, he's doing the simple things really well.
Zebo.
Stay red.
Bonneval. It's going to be interesting for him now, the fullback without one of his wingers.
His instinct is to attack and keep attacking, isn't it? He's got to marshal this defence, but Stade's pack, I think, will try and make sure he doesn't have to do much defensive work.
They don't look like a team with a man down at the moment. Dupuis. There's Stain, Parham got in front. Parise hadn't.
Last.
Hands on it from Sherry. Now he's knocked it on, surely. Doesn't really matter if Stade still have possession.
Wayasabulu, he just gets over that gain line with ease, doesn't he?
Williams, that's certainly gone forward. Munster will take the scrum, and this is a very important scrummage for them. Having been on the back foot. Simon Halliday looking on.
The advantage was for the red there. Yeah, your advantage was over.
Former teammate of yours.
Timeout.
Yes, Wayasabulu, so strong, isn't he? He's got acceleration, and then he takes two defenders with him all the way. That's a pretty poor pass. Comes to nothing. As you say, though, this next scrum is very important. If Munster are going to win this and utilise their extra man, I think the tactical game of Conor Murray has to come to the fore. And for that to happen, he needs a good platform.
Stade have just played a card here. Slimani comes on. Another Slimani into the front row for this very important scrum. Not sure who made that call. Gonzalo Casado is of course the boss, but Simon Raoului would have been in his ear. This is a point when we really want to turn the screw. This is how we want to play the game without our winger. To turn that screw as tight as it will go up front.
Well, you consider the last scrum, even without the French international, they really put the heat on Munster. And this is what they did against Toulouse, and they just won the game this last half hour.
Munster initially, and it came back at them, and Murray might need to get this out quickly. Well, Stander's done it for him. O'Donoghue did well there. Conor Murray to Ian Keatley. Let's just get rid of this for now, but not like that.
Keatley does have the capacity to just have moments of meltdown, and that's 40 metres and a piece of possession just given away by the fly half. You know, across town, if you were watching the Racing 92 game against Glasgow, you'd have seen plenty of shots of Ronan O'Gara on the bench for Racing. He would never have done that. Very rarely. Very rarely.
On the coaching bench.
Yes, coach adventure.
Ronan's not made a shot return to the game as a player. And Munster could do with him now in his heyday and his pomp.
Just show me officially, just have a look yourself, and if you need a call me, give me a call, okay?
Just landed very awkwardly there, hasn't he?
He's going down the ground, there's nothing illegal in that. I've had a good look at that, there's nothing wrong with it. I've had a good look at it. I promise you, I've had a good look. Just see
Parise
down low on the ground, it just
doesn't agree.
I mean, that is the danger of the jackal.
I am sure, yes.
Sombre. Yeah, that's the danger. You've got a great body position, but I think it was the weight of Mark Chisholm took him down, but it was inadvertent.
Laurent Panis to replace that Laurent. Sombre has done nothing for the crowd's mood. There wasn't that in happened with Nigel Owens before that incident. He's a man who made his Champions Cup debut earlier in the competition against Leicester. In Leicester. Started that game. Panis. Oh, it's been a tough old game. Dave Kilcoyne.
Van der Merwe coming on in the scrum for Stade will not make it any easier. Very strong scrummager.
Paul Williams, very strong ball carrier there. He doesn't look the biggest Williams, does he? But he's very powerful.
He's solid, all right, isn't he?
So looking to show he's solid as well. Comes looking for another tackle. It's all Stade at the moment. No change to the half-time score. Zebo. Foley going down. Earl stepping in. So too Kilcoyne. Finding Zebo. And then Scannell. That's his preferred side. Stain. Keatley. Oh, there is space there.
Well, that's the huge difference when you only got two of the back three. Arias has to cover, and now he's off.
And caught.
Because Arias is just trying to cover so much space with Bonneval, it does leave holes in corners. And first time we've seen it this half.
He's trying to be two players, isn't he? That's the problem. One down in the back three. And it can lead to panic.
Get back up now.
Siley with the hand-off. Zebo just can't get away. Earls. It's going to need some Earls or Zebo magic, you feel. There's stand-up. Some power from him. Does lead well. Real captain who says, follow me.
Bonneval misses the tackle. That's the fullback's problem, and luckily for him, his mates have come in and done a great job.
Tackle got his feet down your riding player. All good. No red player there, nothing for.
Steyn loves these to show what he can do. For him, that's quite conservative. Well, there's a good man to bring on, really in form. Jonathan Danty has been selected for the French training squad.
He is a very powerful, direct ball carrier. Sort of a Bastereau for these northern parts of France, maybe with a little bit more acceleration, not quite as much bulk. McAloo's been brilliant, hasn't he, all game? Great take.
You can see why he was brought to Paris. McAloo and the Stade Francais pack showing their power there. Parise breaks off. Munster again try and spoil. They've done that to good effect today. But all it's done is just about keep them in the match. They're going to need so much more than that. They do have Teresa in round 6. They've got to expect to 5-0 them in match points. Got Stade at home in round 5. You can argue that'll be a different proposition at Thomond Park, but only if Munster have got the win here. There's Danty getting straight into the match. Dupuis, little chip covered by Keatley. He's going to get it, but he got the ball away. Parise was on him quickly. Saïli, Zebo, oh, it's back with Keatley. Now it's Earls. There was a little whiff of panic about that.
And it's definitely too early to start panicking. I concur completely with the boys in the studio saying don't go chasing the try, just get the next score, stay in the game. Ominous Stade Francais, even though they're one man down, bringing on some blunderbusses up front, and they've got a drive going.
And Copeland there was shamelessly trying to bring down the rolling ball right in front of the assistant, surely. Nearly lost his shirt as Stade Francais were quite rightly annoyed there.
Yeah, I think Nigel Owens might have missed one there.
Well, maybe not Owens because he's on the other side, but certainly an assistant on this near side.
Yeah, having said that, Nigel Owens, he'd sense what's going on there.
There's a former Leinsterman, think of Van der Merwe. And the prop change then by Stade Francais. Talafo and Alo Emile both gone. Van der Merwe, Slimani on. Oh, that's nice from Danty to Williams. Dupuis, oh, it's on here. They might be a winger down, but they had an overlap there. And Nayathalevu knows it. Gabriag, the second row. Pyle, you just wonder how much longer Munster can hang on here. But we've asked that question many times before.
Danty has come on and made a massive impact on this match.
Copeland in there, again it was shameless. In at the side, the referee might consider a card there.
Not through the gate.
Nayathalevu is still ruining the fact that the overlap wasn't used.
That's a great offload by Danty, and it's Paul Williams' favourite angle, isn't it? Stays wide, just comes in, and there's Danty this time, just walks over Saïli. Really good play, and as you can see there, Copeland missile in from the side, and it should be 13-0. It hasn't been the first 12 minutes of the second half that Alan Quinlan, that the Munster fans, that Anthony Foley were hoping.
Right, stay by you. It's safe by you, yeah?
Steyn then. 14 men Stade. Winger Joe Rasonge sent off in the final moments of the first half. But they have the first points of the second half, and now Munster need 14.
Well, one has to say that after the first 13 minutes of this half, one wonders what would have happened had Stade had 15 against 15, because they're in control of this game. Oh, that's a second terrible kick from Keighley, and his team need their fly half to drive them into the right parts of the field. It's the, I say it again, it's the antithesis of O'Gara, and those were the great days. These are the errors, the little errors, big errors, that make the days not so great.
Keighley had the magic last week, man of the match, and he needs to find that again.
But Miles, he just doesn't have that consistency to his game, does he? For years we've seen him play some really good games. The next week it just dissipates and it goes. And the pressure's on here, and they're looking to their fly half and Conor Murray to put them in the right parts. And Murray's doing all right, but the 10's failing them this half.
JJ Hanrahan now at Northampton Saints, of course, found the inspiration last time Munster won in France against Perpignan. Parise is having a great chance to show off his skills. Now I wonder if Stade will fancy this, because it will be such an important 3 points, taking Munster to the point where they would have to score more than 2 tries and 2 conversions. And yes, on comes the kicking tee.
Munster might have an extra man, but when you can condense a game into a few square metres that is the scrum, it really makes no difference, because it's 8 against 8 there, and it looks like it's 12 against 8.
I'm happy with the last 2 scrums, no problem. Just make sure you can keep driving straight. So far, no problem, we just keep it straight.
I think this probably takes Stade clear, 16-0.
How's the angle looking on your side there, Sean? The drive up straight to
He
me.
walked up to this with a real swagger, Mornay Stain. Now can the kick live up to the body language? No, it can't. Munster survive for now. Looks so confident.
It's so worrying though for Munster and their supporters. 57 minutes gone, still pointless.
And they're gone if they lose this. Just can't get out of their own half.
The problem is now the Munster knock on there as they chase that restart. Parise will say to his turbocharged pack, let's go for them again, let's just drive straight through Munster. Another penalty, we'll go for another penalty.
Get Mornay a little bit closer in.
Exactly.
And if Stade go on to win this, they'll be on 14 points without the try bonus point. Leicester, of course, already on 18 after their 4 games. Chorizo well out of it, but Munster will be gone as well.
Big call here. Ryan has been subbed. The sub has been subbed for Sigario, the Uruguayan international, because it's almost like a white flag. Munster cannot hold Stade here, so they've had to go for the next prop and see if they can just hold out now.
What an opportunity for the Uruguayan. He was very open in the World Cup, saying he's really in the shop window. He wants somebody to sign him. Well, he was signed, and now he has to deliver. He's played in France with Dax and the club I mentioned before, where Sekou Markolu came from Massy. But that man, Rabah Slimani, he's about as good as they get worldwide these days. His brother Sharif is brought in as a medical joker for Rabah into this squad. And they can both turn him on at the scrum, especially that man.
Can the Uruguayan do any better to stem the surge of Stade?
Munster have got to hold it. Got to hold it, and they have done it. Parise is never going to like this. Doesn't even want to hear the explanation.
17. Drive square, across.
It's the former Leinster man, Henke van der Merwe.
Why do you have to cheat technically? When you're driving straight, you're causing so much chaos. That is, let's not say unintelligent, it's bordering on the dumb.
Just keep it straight. You get the reward. You don't
Scored a
go
try for Leinster in that final in 2012 at Twickenham against Ulster. Well, no mistake from Kinkley with a kick to touch. 3/4 of the match gone. Munster still looking for that first point. Murray. And again. Trying to drive through the middle.
Hands away now.
Here's Keatley. He's only got Earls with him on the outside. There is Keith Earls. Tackle from Nicola. Sagario. No way through there for the Uruguayan. Trying to get it back to his scrum half. Came off the boot of Omani. Look at Parise all over him. Kilcoyne drives in, that was important. Dislodged the ball again. Out from Foley, through the hands of Earls to Zebo. Here's a chance maybe, O'Donoghue, Saili, does he time it right? Oh, he does! It's Scannell, and Munster have got the first score on the road to possible recovery here
Yes or no?
and survival in the competition.
Okay.
It will be checked. They showed their fight last week against Ulster in the Pro 12, and they're showing it again here.
I don't think there's any doubt that Scannell gets it down. The crowd are booing. They think the Saïd's pass is forward. It's an interesting angle. The finish is good. Let's just have a look at this.
I'll speak to you in a minute. Wait.
Cool, I tell you what.
Pass is just forward.
It is forward.
And just then.
Well, the finish is good. The pass may not be.
Nigel, can you hear me?
I hear you now, yes. Is the pass forward before the...
The final pass is forward.
Yeah,
Yes, okay. Couldn't hear the table.
it's the right call again.
Pass is forward. Scrum.
Don't think, Nigel, you're going to get free red wine in Paris tonight after what happened in the first half, but you may get an aperitif.
I couldn't hear you at all then until the last bit.
I think he'll be allowed to sniff the cork.
Was it?
But that sums up Munster's problems. They finally had an opportunity with the extra man to make it tell. They've got a 3-on-1 overlap there and they do not score. Well, that's awful. Had to be turned into a try.
Drive straight. Don't come out. Stay square. Give in. Space. Crouch.
Well, does it give Munster a lift, the fact that they were that close, or is it just a demoralising moment?
Depends on your mindset, Miles. It depends on your mindset.
Depends on the belief, doesn't it? Yes, of the team, and it's lifted Stade Francais. We can definitely say that.
Well, I think if Henke van der Merwe just drives straight, then I don't see a way back into this game for Munster, because Stade can almost scrum their way to the conclusion of this game. They'll be feeling good now. That was Munster's chance. They'll sense that. And you know, we said it before, last week, held Ulster to 7 points, were able to nick the game off some brave defending, and the defence hasn't been bad again tonight. You know, they've only conceded 13 points, but there's just nothing in attack. They're firing rubber bullets. Blanks even.
Some nervous chewing there. Stain, then off the outside of the boot. Gives that awkward swirl, but Zebo, he can cope. Murray. He twirls. Murray caught in possession.
You want to play the ball, you stay on your feet. Off your feet.
Denise.
He's replaced Sompere, who's a very good hooker at the breakdown, as Sherry has been today. And he's good himself, but look at that, he's just straight off his feet there, onto the ground, elbows there, spread all over the place. Easy penalty for Nigel Owens.
Again, Parisse's not particularly bothered with the explanation for the referee. Dave Foley down to Conor Murray. Going to do it again here, Munster. If they do score here, maybe they will start to believe. Keep it Saili. Be disappointed, Saili, with the forward pass. That's an understatement. Sigario with the drive, Saili again, and Zebo takes. They're trying everything now as they have to, but that might just leave them open. Because they still have this extra man in the whole of the second half. Stan having had a player sent off with Sun Ye at the end of the first. Keatley. Kilcoyne. Now that's better from Stan at the breakdown.
Well, Panis has done brilliantly there. Sompere would have been delighted with that. Such an aggressive rucking. He stayed on his feet that time. He flopped straight to ground when he was penalised. This time he drove from low to up. Brilliant, brilliant play.
You want me to carry on?
Parisse in first of all. Now, all you can see is the pumping driving of Panis there, but he's done brilliantly.
It's a perfect example of a player learning the lesson from the referee and righting the wrong straight away, and that's why his teammates reacted in the way that they did.
Give a step on the mark.
Stade Francais taking
Yes, remember
the
that.
time to get to the line out. I think any hopes of 4 tries went when the sending off occurred. Now they're just looking for the win to keep them alive.
Same all, same all, same all, same all.
Got to go to Munster and repeat the dose next week. Markaloo. Oh, he's had a good game. Oh, this is electrifying! Stade have not lost sight of Leicester. And that try perfectly proves it.
Well, I think this guy has been dynamic tonight. He's very powerful in the tackle. His line-out work is brilliant, but the acceleration here, yeah, you could say it's a bad missed tackle, but look at the change of pace after that second handoff. CJ Stander, Keatley, Foley, 3 handoffs, beautiful swerving break pass. Keith Earls, the flankers left a Lions winger for dead. That is the highlight of this game, a moment of individual magic.
What an athlete. Admiring looks from his teammates. And Stein gets the extra 2 points. And the deal is done. Munster are heading out of the Champions Cup surely from the halfway line. Bang, bang. That's 2, that's 3.
It's 4 actually.
4.
Three handoffs. He's done the old pinball then. 8-10-4, and then the little swerve to leave Keith Earls to dead, just for good measure. Memorable individual score.
Delight to watch. Dennis Hurley comes on for Munster. Miles Scannell as well. It's worth making the point again, all with 14 men. Who needs your winger when your back row can shift like that? Siley, good footwork. Copeland. Zebo. Nigel Owens, rather like that. Scannell. CJ Stander. About to go to the final 10 minutes. And Munster need 3 tries. 3 conversions. Not too much to ask them.
Inside, boys.
Mornay Stein. He'll do that all night, he'd asked.
I was trying to think, I wonder if Munster have played 40 minutes with an extra man and been beaten 10-0. It's fairly humiliating.
Thomas comes on at scrum half. Part 2 of this is live on Sky Sports next week, 12:45. Sky Sports 5 for Munster against Stade, the rerun. And don't forget, tomorrow the rearranged fixtures continue. Sky Sports 2, same time, 12:45. Oyonnax against Ulster. Ulster right back in it after their performances against Toulouse.
Another line-out lost by Munster. It's been just a litany of errors.
And here comes Bonneval. That wasn't forward, says the referee. And that is the try line. And that is number 3. And they can sense suddenly the bonus point.
5 minutes ago I just thought that they weren't even considering it, but now Munster seem to have thrown the towel in. Their defence is diabolical. The tackling is non-existent. Bonneval is not the biggest man. It's a beautiful pass here, but even so, watch what happens now. Simon Zebo, you've got to do better than that. Bonneval, snaky hit, slides past one. Zebo doesn't even make an attempt to go low, and Bonneval is in.
It could be that Stade can't catch Leicester, but they're giving themselves every chance, certainly of one of the best runner-up spots, and a try bonus point here in the final analysis at the end of round 6 could be critical.
I mean, I'm just starting to get Stade Francais are well in contention here. They are in contention. It might be they really do need one try in the next 8 minutes. But I'm just trying to think, have I ever seen a more inept Munster performance in Europe? I'm struggling to remember one.
Of course, the Tigers have got to come here. Mornay Steyn starting and smiling fly half tonight, and he's got that reliable boot, but of course Jules Plisson's on the bench. Seen Dante come on. It is a terrific squad. Plisson on. And Stade Francais at the moment 14 points, one more try, it goes to 15. There's Murray. It's a little bit loose on the restart from Stade Francais, but they're going to have to really go for it now, realising the importance of the bonus point. With an exciting final few minutes here, and Munster have got to fight to the end, and that was very disappointing defence on that last try. Can't be allowed to happen again.
Well, they could throw caution to the wind now. 27-0, they can't lose this game, it's so well won. They could try anything.
Move, Red, move!
Munster never lost 3 in a row in European Cup history. In the early years there were 1 or 2 days when it didn't go so well for them. And of course that run of 12 years of always getting out of the pools. And even when that came to an end in 2010, since then they've had a quarter-final, they've had a semi-final, and they're going out this season after just 4 rounds, and Stade Francais be desperate to hold on to possession like that, because as Stuart was saying, from a position where try bonus points seem very unlikely, it is on offer now. And Munster will keep going for it to try and salvage some pride. So this could be really loose. And there's Zebo. And he's being pulled back. I think he might have knocked on, but anyway, the referee is in the best position to see it all. And he likes the try. And it's scored by Conor Murray.
Well, it's no sort of consolation at all for Munster, but at least a few of the famous flags are flying.
I think it has to be checked, and it's going to be checked. Zebo, no, it wasn't a knock on.
He kicked it forward.
Kicked it.
Good hands in support, that's a try, all right. Great follow-up work from Murray. Zebo is forced out of field, he gets inside. A bit lucky that he doesn't control the ball.
Didn't know where it was, did he? But Murray did, and so did Nigel Owens, who ran alongside, perfect position. Scannell's kick, well, seemed prettier, but doesn't matter, it's 2 points. He does drill it low, that's his style, watching him in the warm-up.
Gonzalo Casado, for one, your coaches always say we'll be devastated conceding the penalty. This stage of the game, Stade Francais are throwing everything at the 4th try, and normally when you unravel and lose shape, that hurts you. But the way Munster were playing until that try, you just thought the wider and looser this game goes, the more likely there is for a 4th try, because Munster's tackling has gone completely. Out of the blue, that try.
Stained restart. Markle nearly on the end of it. Here go Munster again. Enjoying this newfound freedom. But the reality is it's 27-7. At least they will not be nilled. Holland on for Chisholm. And then the defiant Munster supporters
No.
need to listen to the Stade.
I said Niall Scannell on as hooker did really well for the offload for that try as well. Superb.
Having to listen to the Stade Francais fans, and it will be the home supporters who will see their team put into this scrum with just over 3 minutes to go. No doubt Leicester Tigers supporters watching this with great interest.
Well, they can pull themselves back into contention. You know, we associate Thomond Park with being one of the hardest places to win in Europe, but Munster are wobbling at the moment, and a bonus point here brings it all back on. Options here for Parisse's team. Do you go for the drive-in scrum, get a penalty, kick to the corner, or do you just say Munster's tackling has gone, let's just throw it at them?
Keep that space, please. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Well, there are a man down in the back, so they've got police on out of position.
Time out.
But it looks like they're going to go for a backs move here.
Put your head in and we get it. No, the shoulder is fine. Put your head and get the head in. This is the last
John
time
O'Ross
I will
now
tell
on.
you, okay? Thank you. Time is off. Time on one when I say crouch. Don't go look at the head, keep the shoulder up, okay?
Messages flying between the Stade Francais players.
Crouch.
New scrum half Thomas passing them on.
Set.
Bit of resistance from Munster at the scrum. Roche gets in to make the tackle, and he's on the wrong side. Is he trying to get away? The referee thinks he's interfering, and Conor Murray goes, and here goes O'Donoghue, and O'Donoghue stretches those legs. Murray again. Well, this is defiant from Munster, to be fair.
Can you believe Munster took a scrum against the head? Unbelievable.
Well, you sort of can believe it, because just the way the game's gone now, because Stade Francais only have one thought. They might just be scrambling their brains. They can only think about this try.
Doesn't look like they're going to get it now. Murray has time to go for the corner, and by the time this line out is taken, unless Munster overthrow, try or no try for Munster, the clock is going to be in the red. Haven't seen enough of Conor Murray there. Jack O'Donoghue, he's quick, carries very well.
Well, Nigel Owen steps in. Stade Francais try and sort things out themselves, but again, this is just another distraction. They need to get on with this.
Well, Nigel Owens has said time out, the clock's still going.
There's no need, is there? No? Leave it. Transfer the ball to the back before contact was made, okay? Accidental scrum.
So it's an offside, but accidental, so not a penalty. So it's a long way to go from there. Clock is back on, and he just stopped in time. You're absolutely right. 8 seconds before it went red. That would have made Nigel Owens Mr. Unpopular.
We called it with 28 seconds of time left, and the clock man just ignored him. It would raise the roof on this beautiful stadium, wouldn't it, if Stade could go 90 metres from here.
Get your head this side. Why do you make things so difficult? Just get in with the scrum. Yes. And in the middle step. Crouch.
Well, can Stade do it from there? Victory secured long ago. Not so the bonus point. He's got to get it out, Thomas. It's going to be a penalty. Oh, Parise's going on his own. He's going to get another go, I think. There he is, second time. There's absolutely no composure at all from Stade Francais. Stade. Thomas. Now they're in position. They've got used to being without a man. Would have been useful there though, the winger, but Dante's coming from the outside. Get the ball inside, it's on! Here's Plisson! This place is going to go wild if they get this! Try and keep it alive, he's kicked it on! But Saili is back. He wants to keep it alive. Munster decide no. They'll end it. With the opposition not getting the bonus point. It was really odd. And once again, Stade Francais made it appear that they were playing with 15 and not 14. So it's not a bonus point, but it's a good win. It's a totally convincing win. They've not been in this competition since 2010, but they are staying in it this season right on the tail.